All right, let's dive right in. Today we're talking about something pretty amazing. How the simple, natural things you can find right outside your door could actually be the start of a real business.
Now, really, just think about that for a second. What if the rocks, the soil, the plants you walk past every single day are actually just raw ingredients waiting for your big idea? It's not some crazy fantasy, it's just about learning to see the world a little differently with the eyes of a creator. And this quote? It absolutely nails it. For the next few minutes, we're going to treat nature like a giant kitchen. We'll identify the ingredients, learn a few key recipes, and figure out how to whip up something truly special.
Okay, so first things first, what are we actually talking about here? Well, natural resources are basically the planet's pantry. They are the raw, fundamental building blocks for, and I mean this literally, everything we make and use in our lives.
So, let's get organized. You wouldn't start cooking without knowing what's in your cupboards, right? Same thing here. We need to open up our toolbox and see what we've got to work with.
Everything basically falls into two big categories: inorganic and organic. Inorganic stuff comes from non-living things, rocks, minerals, soil. This is the heavy-duty material we use to build our cities. Then you've got organic resources, which come from living things, plants and animals. That's where we get our food, our energy, our nutrition.
Now, on the inorganic side, you've got some real unsung heroes. Take zeolite, for example. It looks like a boring rock, but it can actually purify water. Or bentonite, a type of clay that's essential in tons of industrial processes.
And then for our organic ingredients, we've got things you might literally have in your kitchen right now. Turmeric is way more than just a spice, and aloe vera is more than just a pretty plant for your windowsill. Each one of these holds some seriously cool potential.
All right, ingredient list is ready. Time to start designing. Let's kick things off with an organic blueprint and turn a simple rock into something incredible. So let's zoom in on that zeolite we mentioned. To the naked eye, it's just a rock. But if you could look closer, you'd see it's full of microscopic holes. It's super porous. And that structure gives it a hidden superpower. It can trap all sorts of nasty stuff.
And the process to unlock that power is genius in its simplicity. You just crush up the rock, and suddenly it becomes this kind of molecular magnet. Because of its natural ion exchange capacity, it literally grabs onto impurities as water passes through it. And just like that, a common rock becomes a high-tech, high-value water filter. So cool.
Okay, let's switch gears. We're moving over to the organic side of our kitchen now. Let's pull out the recipe book for turning everyday plants into amazing products.
Everyone knows turmeric, right? That bright yellow spice that goes in curry. But here's the secret. Its real magic isn't in the flavor, it's in its chemistry. The very same compound that gives it that vibrant color can also react to other chemicals in a really interesting way.
You can make a simple extract from it. It's super easy. And suddenly, you have a natural pH indicator. Dip it in an acid, and it stays yellow. But dip it in a base, it turns this deep red color. You've just turned a kitchen spice into a tool for a science lab. How awesome is that?
And this brings us to a really important idea. Innovation isn't always about inventing some brand new piece of technology. A lot of the time, it's just about looking at something traditional with a fresh perspective. Take food packaging, for instance.
Let's talk about gudug, a traditional dish. You could sell it in a standard plastic container, right? Functional, fine. Nobody will remember it. Or you could package it in a beautiful custom-made clay pot. All of a sudden, it's not just food anymore. It's an experience. It feels authentic, premium, something you want to buy. That's the power of innovative design. Here's another killer example. Cassava. It's a humble, traditional root vegetable. Pretty low cost. But what if you process it into flour and make modern, trendy donuts out of it? That's what the brand Donatella did. They took a simple ingredient and turned it into a high-value snack that a whole new generation loves.
So, we've got our ingredients, we've got some design ideas, but now for the million-dollar question, who's going to buy this stuff and why should they care? It's time to find your market. And here is the secret weapon. The reason why right now is the perfect time for these ideas. We are smack in the middle of a huge global movement, the return to nature trend. People are actively searching for natural, organic products. This quote really gets to the heart of it. People are getting a little wary of synthetic stuff, whether it's in their medicine, their food, or their skincare. They're worried about weird side effects and crazy high prices, and they are hungry for alternatives they can actually trust. And that's your opportunity. To really jump on this, you need to adopt an entrepreneurial mindset. That means being an opportunity creator, seeing a water filter in a rock. It means being an innovator, turning a root into a donut. And it means being a calculated risk taker, making smart choices to give your product an edge.
So what does a calculated risk even look like? Well, imagine you're making tempeh. You could use cheap, imported soy, or you could choose to source local, non-GMO soy. Yeah, it might cost a little more, but now you can market your product as safer, healthier, and more natural, which is a huge selling point for the exact customers you're trying to reach.
But maybe the biggest, most exciting innovation of all is looking at what other people consider trash and seeing treasure. The ultimate move is turning waste into wealth.
I mean, get this. Pineapple leaves, which are almost always just thrown away after harvest, can be turned into a strong, durable textile fiber. Or sawdust from a lumber mill. It can be compressed into clean-burning charcoal briquettes. This isn't just a smart business idea. It's sustainable, it's brilliant, and it's what the future looks like. So, we've come full circle. The rocks under your feet, the plants in your garden, even the things people throw away, they're all part of your ingredient list. They are your toolbox. The recipes are out there, just waiting for you to discover them. So the only real question left is, what will you create?